Welcome back to the vlog. Welcome here to Goroka, Papua New Guinea. My name is Ryan. We're heading out on a medical flight today down to Denungat, down to Nadzab, and then to Madang. So it wasn't really as scheduled, but that's all right. Let's go ahead and get started. It's like a 30-minute flight out to Denungat. All right, low start. Watch my NG. Oil pressure coming in. Introduce my low idle. Oil pressure's coming in. Fuel flow's coming up. NG's coming up slowly. I'm looking at my ITT. Here we go. So yeah, yesterday afternoon we got a call saying that someone needs to be picked up in Denungat. We're already heading down to Madang today, so I'm just heading out there first, then on to Nadzab to drop him off at the doctor's, and down to Madang. Finish the rest of my day.
17 left and clear to take off.
Copy traffic, 17 left turn, clear for takeoff, November Tango Zulu. Right, well my camera just stopped, so I have no idea where we started, but we're heading to Denungat on a medical flight today. We've just been cleared for takeoff. On a 32-minute flight out there, so ignition condition.
Hotel company
harnesses.
Will be rolling shortly on the left turn.
Copy, November Tango Echo.
1330, rotate 57. There's our torque is set, airspeed's alive, ITT's at 720. And rotate at 57. Bump up my ITT just a tiny bit to 740. I have no idea where my camera just stopped, but like I said, we got a call yesterday afternoon. Need help out of Denungat. Someone's having some issues. And there's no way for them to get to the hospital. I mean, they're days hike to the nearest hospital. So aviation is still critical here in Papua New Guinea for things like this, when they're stuck out in the middle of the mountains. Just looking at my mountains, it looks like we're going to have to do the IFR departure. I've already got that in here, so that's good. We'll just continue on with that. Climb up to 11,000 just so that we know we can get out of the valley just fine. Alright, landing light bypass and igniters turned off. Goroka Tower, November Tango Zulu, departed time 46. We'll be tracking 087 on climb not above 11,000. Estimating Denungat 18.
November Tango Zulu, copy. Contact must be 123.9. No contact 8861 or 5565 or 15 east.
1239er, 8861556515 east, November Tango Zulu. I'm going to go ahead and pitch for 100 knots. That's my best rate of climb. That's going to give me the most amount of altitude on this departure here. Get all the way up to 11,000. I think that this cloud layer really kind of goes from about 75 to maybe probably 9,000. So I think we'll break out by that. But we'll throw our heading mode on, and we'll just throw our GPS on our GPS steer, and head out at 100 knots. He gave us two frequencies. He gave us our VHF 1239er, which we can set up in here. And then also he gave me 8861 and 5565. Those are HF frequencies. So if the VHF, which comes with the airplane, doesn't work because of the mountains and stuff, then we'll try HF, which basically just follows the hills. And it typically works a little bit better here in Papua New Guinea, usually. Alright, just now going in the cloud, 8,000. So maybe it'll be about 9,500 by the time we get out of it, I'm guessing. Probably about, usually it's like 1,500 feet.
November Tango Hotel is fast center line.
November Tango Hotel, copied. You estimate you're?
Estimating you're now 03.
So that helicopter is actually our helicopter. We're lending it out to SIL, and they're flying our helicopter for us, and then also just using it for their own operations, because we don't have a helicopter pilot here in country at this time. But we are supposed to get our very first R66 here in the next month or so. So maybe I'll be doing a video for my Patreon showing you guys our new helicopter when we do get it all put together. We're going to be getting 3 of those. And eventually, starting next summer, I start up my training for that. So I'm really excited about that. All right, yep, starting to break out. Looks like it looks nice and blue up here, or at least brighter. And there's November Tango Hotel right there. And November Tango Zulu, currently 9 miles to the southeast of the field, passing 9,600 on climb 11,000. It looks like you're just about 3 miles ahead of me. Are you on top or below the clouds?
November Tango Hotel is currently on top, 11,600. And it looks like you could be on top of about 11,000 or so. But it's a pretty solid layer.
Yeah, I just broke out at 10,000, so I'm going to go ahead and make my turn now, and I should stay to the north of you.
November Tango Hotel, copies. And the Finisteers look decent. You can see the tops of them from here, although there's quite a bit of cloud scattered around.
All right, great, thanks. So let's go ahead and take out our gas at 2 and just hit a direct nugget at this point. I will keep north of him. Chimes let me know I'm just 200 feet before 11,000. Once our speed's starting to get up there closer to 130 indicated, I'm going to start just slowly bringing my power out. Back to my cruise at 1250 and just leaving my prop at 2,000. Denunga is one of our shortest airstrips that we actually have here that we fly to. 398 meters, which is just like 1,300 feet. It's fairly short. It's a 10% slope, but not where you land. It's actually like a 4% downhill slope, so it's kind of shaped like a banana. So you really have to like be right on your speed, right on your VREF, and come like a couple feet over the end of the runway. Go idle. I usually just drop my flaps to help lose some lift, and you kind of just settle down onto the runway. It's a really fun place though, as long as there's not winds to contend with. If there's winds to contend with, then it's a whole other story and it's not as much fun. Touchdown zone is 4,900. I already have 200 kgs on board. I'm picking up 3 people out here, heading down to Nadzab. And so I have a 370 kg penalty takeoff out of there. So even if they're like 300 kgs altogether, which they won't be, I'll still be able to take off with all my weight so that I don't have to go back to Goroka, refuel, and then on down to Madang. Moresby 1239er, November Tango Zulu transfer.
November Tango Zulu, this is Moresby, go ahead.
Good morning, November Tango Zulu, 18 miles to the east, southeast of Madang, 11,000. Estimating Denunga time 17. Copy company November Tango Hotel.
November Tango Zulu, no sharp for the traffic, area QNH 1007. And confirm you'll be remaining OCTA through to Denunga.
A firm will remain OCTA for Denunga, November Tango Zulu. Just said.
November Tango Zulu, secondary 5565 08861.
5561 8861, November Tango Zulu. Alright, so he's just making sure that I'm going to be staying out of Nadzab's airspace right here. So, it looks like I might have to make a little bit of a left-hand turn just so I don't have to deal with that. This one's starting at 8,000, so yeah, I'll have to just stay off a little bit to the left of that. The next one up here, though, it doesn't start up until 10,000, and so we'll be starting our descent before then because it's nice and clear up there, so I'll go ahead and hit my heading mode now, head off to the left just a little bit so I can stay out of it. Just to go back and look, our touchdown zone's at 4,900 feet. I'm going to go ahead and put in my 5,900 feet, my pattern altitude. I just got to get down a little bit lower than 10,000 foot right here. So I'm going to start my descent now. Actually, let's just go on down to like, I know I'm going to need probably at least 9,500 feet to get over top of these mountains in front of me. We've got quite a bit of clouds up there today. I'm sure that we'll be able to find some holes through the clouds down through the gaps. But basically I need to go in and then head over that way. So I really need to be down below 10,000. And if you're wondering, why are you just not worrying about going through Nadzab's airspace? It's really not that big of a deal. It's just more work for them, and it doesn't add any extra time on mine. So to not have to call them up and then give them radials on where I am and the altitudes, it's easier for me just to go 1.5 miles out of my way and descend a little bit early. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off my terrain awareness system right now. If I turn terrain on, you can see my direct track is going to be taking me through some stuff that, well, you can see straight ahead of me that, yeah, Betty's going to let me know that there's terrain ahead. So before she even does that, I'm just going to take a right-hand turn, go around all these clouds right here. It should clear back up and all the clouds should drop down just on the other side of this ridge, though, is what I'm kind of guesstimating. All right, we're just at 9,900. We're underneath a shelf of 10,000 for this area, so we're well clear of their airspace, and we'll just keep this altitude until we can for sure get down into the Nugget Valley. So it looks like it's just dropping off nicely. I will keep this altitude until I get 100% sure I can get it down into the valley. I'm pretty sure that ridge that we're looking at right there in front of us, I'm pretty sure that's the last ridge. No, maybe there's another ridge after that. I'm seeing something poke out just in the clouds up there, so I don't come out here that often, like 5 or 6 times a year is all. But let's head over for that little tiny gap over there. And that's going to be my best option for getting down into the valley. Actually, no, it looks like right over here. We're going to go over here. Yeah, we'll go over here first. Before I get there, I'm just like 4 minutes out. I'm going to start up my checklist. Selectors and brakes, or TAWS is off, or VREF. We are landing at 5840, so like 5800, so 66 knots. Oops. 66 knots. We'll do our inlet and our lights. We have to go around. It's power up, 20 degrees of flaps, pitch for 73 knots, right hand turn out, reset, our ITT 740. All stations to Nugget, 123.9, November Tango Zulu, 11 miles to the west, 9,800. On descent circuit time, 17 to Nugget. Landing on runway 11, so OBS to 110. Top and harness we'll get here in a minute. Let's zoom this on in. So this particular pattern is a bit different because you're going around mountains, and for 3/4 of your whole pattern you don't even see the runway at all, just because it's behind mountains. So that's one of the reasons why I set this up. I'll even set up my little bug right here just so that I'm nice and perpendicular, so I know when I'm perpendicular and everything else to the airstrip, because I can't see it basically until I'm halfway through on my base. There we go. There's a nice little hole. We'll start our descent down into. And because we're only 8 miles, I'm just going to start pulling my power out now, so I don't have to have a 1,500-foot descent coming in there. And we'll also push our prop forward. That will slow us down. Lots of left rudder pressure in for the descent. And I'll even go 10 degrees of flaps. Up and harness is done. Bring our torque on back even more. We'll come on down to 5,900 feet for pattern altitude. And now we'll go 20 degrees of flaps. I am just starting to see it just through the edge of those little clouds down there. We're only 6 miles out. Nice and clear. That is good. I wasn't sure if it was going to be. And winds are pretty calm so far, so that's good. And that's some dense jungle out there. All stations to Nugget, 1239er, November Tango Zulu. We'll be joining the circuit to Nugget. Moresby 5565, November Tango Zulu in the circuit to Nugget. Report after landing.
November Tango Zulu.
Winds are increasing. I think I have a 5-knot tailwind penalty on this one. Let's see, Nugget. a 5-knot tailwind penalty, so I'm not going to be landing anything more than a 5-knot tailwind. It's because it's 1,300 feet long, and if I have too much of a tailwind, it's just pushing me in there faster. My ground speed's faster. If I have any type of, like, if the wind's, like, kind of jockeying all around, then I have to add a little bit of knots just so that my speed stays consistent and doesn't drop below my VREF, so then I'm coming in even faster, so that's why we have a 5-knot tailwind penalty here. Looks like I've got 3 knots of tailwind up here, 7 knots of crosswind. Let's see if we can't see the windsock. Let's see, windsock, I don't see it doing anything. In fact, I don't even see it. I know where it is, but I don't see it. It'd be nice if I had a nice little round circle around it to find it easier. Oh, there it is, maybe. There it is, yeah. It's just hanging straight down. Oh, no wind over the threshold. That's good. Another 1,000 foot to go. So I'm going to be going all the way around this mountain over here, so the whole way around I'm not even going to see the runway. Go ahead and turn my base now. Correction, my crosswind.
500.
Just leaving my 20 degrees of flaps in just because I had quite a bit of altitude to lose, and I didn't want to have to come down super fast, so I'm just slowly coming down with my 20 degrees of flaps. We have flaps and SAR to go. I'll get SAR on the ground, which is just search and rescue. 500 feet more to go by the time I'm beaming the numbers, which is over by that little hill right there. And that's the ocean straight ahead of us. About 15 or 20 miles out, probably about 20 miles out. Alright, downwind now. Going 66, 76, and 86. We're 86 now. Another 200 feet to go before we're basically beating the numbers. Gonna crab a couple of degrees into the wind here. It's about a beam. There's 5,900. We want to lose 300 feet now. So 5,600. Turning base. No, it's not necessarily the airstrips that make these places difficult, it's when the winds are present that make these places difficult. Because this is a bowl, the winds are shifting, and I'll show you here, we've got 4 knots crosswind here, and it might change 2 or 3 times just in the pattern alone. 100 feet to go before turning base. We want to wait till we turn up at this hill up here. Then we'll be turning final 5,400. There's the hill I'm going for at 5,600. And we're turning final 5,400. Going to 76 now. I've got 5 knots on the nose. Looks like I'll have 7 or 8 knots of crosswind for landing. The winds were going this way, 1,000 feet higher than us. My altitude for a little bit more. There's full flaps, checklist is complete. Turning final. On to 66. You know, it's a headwind. $350 on the descent, a little shallow. But not a headwind. We're continuing, now we're committed.
$500.
And 0 knots. A little bit fast. There we go. It's really weird at this place too, because you don't flare. You basically just pull the power and then just hold the air and just kind of like sink down. It's really odd. And here's your 10 or more percent. This is definitely more than 10% right here. I'm glad we were able to get in for this guy. Thanks guys for taking the time to watch. I hope you guys did enjoy that one. I always enjoy coming here. If you guys are in the market for some sunglasses, I've got these on my website, and do worldwide shipping as well. If you guys did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up. And yeah, if you guys want to see some videos of school down here, I've got some videos walking around with the school on my Patreon page. And today I'm going to be donating some rugby balls out here. So I already did some earlier, like a week ago when I was out here last, but doing some more. So anyways, thanks guys, and see you next time.
Thank you.